Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sam Smith, and in this video, we are predicting the 2021 NFL playoffs. Okay, so if you don't know, I'm a big Patriots fan, and the Patriots didn't make the playoffs this year as expected. If you know me, you know that I said there's no chance that the Patriots are making the playoffs this year with the team they have. Just not going to happen. They lost a lot of key pieces over the offseason. Brady as a big one, along with Kyle Van Noy and Landon Roberts to Miami, along with some other pieces. It wasn't going to work, and they actually did surprisingly better than I thought they were going to. So, so it's wild card weekend for you guys that are seeing this. It's actually wild card weekend for me too. I'm actually filming this the night before it comes out. It is my NFL wild card weekend predictions into the actual playoffs. So let's get started. So the Chiefs are the number one team in the AFC, and the Packers are the number one team in the NFC. They get an automatic bye to the NFC divisional games. Now the format is the 1 seed faces the winner of the 2 versus 7, and the winner of the 3v6 seed will face the winner of the 4v5 seed. So that's the format. Let's start with the AFC. So Kansas City will get an automatic bye to the AFC divisional game, and they'll be the home team to whoever they face. The 2 versus 7 game is the Buffalo Bills versus the Indianapolis Colts. I think this will be a pretty good game. The Colts are actually not a bad team this year at all. I believe they're 11-5. But I don't see Buffalo throwing this away. Buffalo will make the AFC divisional game. The 3-seeded Steelers versus the 6-seeded Browns. So, Steelers versus Browns. The Browns had a pretty strong finish to the regular season. Pittsburgh can't say the same. Pittsburgh, after an 11-0 start, lost the final 4 out of 5 games, which was crucial. They were the number 1 seed for a while, and they looked like they were going to be the number 1 seed, and this didn't happen. So now they finished the season 12-4. They are the 3rd seed against the 11-5 Browns, who are the 6th seed. I think this game's actually going to be way closer than it should, because Pittsburgh has been inconsistent. But Pittsburgh is going to pull out the victory here. It's going to be a close one. It's going to be down to the wire, but the Steelers will beat the Browns. Now, the 4-seeded Titans against the 5-seeded Ravens. Ravens, they're great. They have Mark Ingram, Lamar Jackson, but it's the test. Can the Ravens defense shut down the Titans running game with Derrick Henry? And also the Titans, they have a pretty good receiving team. So if you're Tennessee, you're looking pretty good. I'm going to say the Titans go over the Ravens here. It'll again be a close game. I'm not sure I'm not predicting scores. I'm just predicting who's going to win, because with football, you never know. So the 2 AFC divisional games are the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, and the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tennessee Titans. So the top 4 in the AFC will advance. The Packers will get the number 1 seed in the NFC divisional game. The Saints versus the Bears. Now, again, the Bears, they're 8-8. They're 8-8, guys. This is not this is not a playoff caliber team. Sure, the Bears had their moments, and they were a decent team this year. Come on, they were 500. But you cannot compare the Chicago Bears to the New Orleans Saints. You can't. The Saints are going to win. It might as well be a blowout. Seahawks and Rams in the NFC wildcard game. This will actually be a really good game. I think this game could be the tightest game of the entire wildcard weekend. Seattle, they're a great team. The Rams are also a really good team, although they did lose some momentum. The final couple games there, losing to the Jets of all teams after destroying the Patriots the week or two before. It's up in the air. I say Seattle wins. And the only big surprise, which is not really a surprise even, is the fact that Tampa is going to go over Washington. Washington finished with a losing record, and they're ranked higher than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When you rank a team that has a losing record over a team who has a winning record because of divisions. That's awful. That completely needs to be revamped. Anyway, Tampa destroys Washington. In fact, it might be one of the worst playoff beatings in NFL history. Sorry. Now, the NFC divisional games, Packers and Saints, Seattle versus Tampa. Okay? And by the way, for the longest time before this season, I always thought Tampa Bay was an AFC team.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
Chiefs and Bills, AFC divisional game. Mahomes is great. Travis Kelce is great. They have a strong team. The Chiefs have a strong team, but I think the Chiefs will find some way to throw it away. I don't know. I have a strong reason to believe the Bills win over the Chiefs. And the reason why is the Bills were more consistent on the offense. Mahomes was fantastic over the season, but the problem with Mahomes is when he's in trouble, he scrambles. He's like Drew Bledsoe. He's in the pocket, right? And he's scrambling to try to figure out, wait a minute here. I'm trapped. He's right. He is trapped. So he goes 15 yards back and then tries throwing a Hail Mary like that's going to do anything. That's the one problem with Mahomes. He's a great quarterback. He deserved the MVP last year, but that's going to be his one downfall. And it's going to it's going to cost the Chiefs. I think the Bills win. That's going to be the biggest upset. The Bills beat the Chiefs. The champs, go down in the divisional. That's my prediction. And also, the Steelers and the Titans. The underdogs go over. The Titans will beat the Steelers. Now, this might be the tightest game of the entire playoffs. The reason why? The Steelers have a solid defense, one of the best defenses in the league, right? The problem with Pittsburgh is not their defense. It's their offense. Again, I said it when I was predicting the Browns. The Steelers, the only problem is they couldn't catch a ball to save their lives for the final 5 games of the season after a perfect start. And even then, in the final 2 games of their perfect streak, it wasn't pretty. So if you're the Steelers, you should have had everything and you threw it away. Just like they're gonna in the AFC divisional game. Titans beat the Steelers. Packers and the Saints. The problem with the Packers is the running game. I don't really know much about their running game, to be perfectly honest with you. But the Saints, Drew Brees, injuries affect you. Whether you think they do or they don't, injuries do affect you. And Drew Brees, he had a collapsed lung, like a million broken ribs. Like, this guy, and somehow he scrambled to come back in this season, which is insane. But the Packers win. Drew Brees is not going to have the best game. But the Packers are going to the NFC title game, and they will face the winner of the Seahawks-Buccaneers game, which is what we're getting into now, Seattle versus Tampa. Tampa wins. Why? Brady has always found a way to beat Russell Wilson. Now, they may be saying, oh, well, that might change because we don't know the condition of Mike Evans. All right, well, you have a valid point. But when you have Tom Brady in playoff mode, which is a completely different Tom Brady, trust me. A lot of Patriots fans know that. When Tom Brady is locked in, when it's playoff time for Tom Brady, he is a completely different person. And a prime example of that was the Super Bowl when the Patriots faced the Seahawks in that Super Bowl, and that one of the best Super Bowls ever. And I'm not saying that because I was a Patriots fan. I'm saying that as a football fan. That was one of the best Super Bowls ever. Tampa, Brady will beat Wilson again. Brady, Gronk, and Brown will find a way to shut down the Seahawks defense. Gronk will get double teamed, which means somebody's going to get open, which will most likely be Antonio Brown. And it's going to work. Tampa Bay goes to the NFC title game. So now you have the Bills and the Titans and the Packers and the Buccaneers. The winners of these 2 games go to Super Bowl 55. The Bills and the Titans. This is going to be a pretty good game. Tennessee goes to the Super Bowl. Why? Derrick Henry. This guy was unstoppable. They were literally one game away from going to the Super Bowl last year. And they only got better over the offseason. And they showed it throughout the season. I mean, they dealt with COVID issues. And now you're the 4th seed in the AFC, right? Not a bad spot at all. And now you're facing the Bills, who, I mean, the problem with the Bills is they're going to have fans. Yeah, the Bills are going to have fans in their stadium, right? They're going to have like 20%, 20, 30% fans. And that's going to be the only issue with the Buffalo Bills, right? And with the Titans. But I think the Titans will overcome the crowd noise, will overcome the adversity, and I think the Titans will go to the Super Bowl. Tennessee will, Derrick Henry will march his way to the Super Bowl. Now, you might be thinking I'm about to say a team in the NFC title game. You might be thinking I'm about to say Tampa's going to go. Incorrect. Rodgers will shut down Brady. Packers are going to the Super Bowl. Tampa's defense was the downfall of their losses this season. Their offense was fine. It was their defense. And I think the Packers' offense is going to wreck the Buccaneers' defense to the point where it could possibly be a blowout. I think Green Bay is arguably the best team in football, besides the Chiefs. The Chiefs are great, but Mahomes will throw it in the AFC divisional game. But the Packers, Green Bay is good. Green Bay is really good. Green Bay is going to face Tennessee in the Super Bowl. Now, you might be saying, oh, it's going to be a boring game. The least watched Super Bowl ever. Does it look like I care? This is my predictions. All right? My predictions. Titans versus Packers. Super Bowl 55. Who knows where the Super Bowl is being held? I don't know. I heard they're having fans. I don't know where the game's actually going to be freaking held. I have no idea. It won't matter because it won't be in either Lambeau Field or Nissan Stadium. So the obvious choice is going to win. The Green Bay Packers are going to win the Super Bowl. But when you compare Tennessee to Green Bay, the Packers, they have a solid defense, right? Not the best, because I said it earlier, not the best defense, but it's enough to shut down Derrick Henry. And the Packers' offense is unstoppable, and the Titans' defense is okay. So Green Bay is good. You know how they say defense wins championships? Well, screw that. That's not going to be a thing in this year. I think offense will win the championship, and I think Green Bay will have the advantage. Both teams don't have fantastic defenses. I think the offense is gonna be the main provider for both teams. So Packers and the Titans in Super Bowl 55. Packers win. That is my prediction. Okay, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did, drop a like on the video, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, follow my Instagram, and see you guys next time.